Welcome back to the Underdog Racing League here, brought to you by Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We have 3 races left to determine a champion here at the Underdog Racing League as we take on the 2.5-mile track of Daytona International Speedway. And what a track they picked here to be one of the final 3, as our points are definitely closing up. We want to give a special shout out though to Ultimate Siding and Gutter LLC, as they are the primary sponsor here at the Underdog Racing League. And they say our customers say we're the best in the business, so we specialize in residential and commercial construction. We've been in business for over 15 years, only using the best materials, and are dedicated to completing each project in a timely manner. There's nothing more important to have a house to call a home. Thank you to Ultimate Siding and Gutter LLC, the sponsor here at the Underdog Racing League. And what a night we have in store for you. I'm Zach Hall up in the booth. Joined alongside me is going to be Carl Poehler, calling all the action up here in the booth, as we have Robert Boyer Jr. running the cameras from the production box. And what a night we have here tonight, Carl. 3 races left. Our top 3 in points, separated by 4 points. And then all the way back to 6th is only 20 points, man. We got such a wide open field after a wild Road America last week.
And yeah, Daytona is one of those tracks that anything can happen, Zach. You know, Road America, Jason Fensler went in there 20 points in the good. You know, he was the favorite champion. Did not end up doing too well in that race. Fell really far back, and you know, he's just only trailing, not even trailing, I guess he's only ahead by 4 points there. But this track can either make or break your playoff hopes, and it's going to be really exciting to see how these drivers push each other.
They're going to be pushing, definitely, that's for sure, trying to get those positions. We've seen throughout the season and past seasons here at the Underdog Racing League, all about the points here in the final 3 races. No championship cutoffs here. These drivers are racing down to that last race at Las Vegas. And after tonight, we go to National Fairgrounds, and then we finish it all off there at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But man, the one big thing that I'm really looking at is stage points. In these 3 races, you have 6 stage chances to get points, and I think those are going to be so critical on who wins this championship. I mean, there's so many points up to offer there for the top 10. You're going to have to be putting yourself in stage points positions each and every race if you want to come home crowned the champion this season.
Definitely, Zach. We all know Daytona can be crazy, and wrecks happen, you know, they can happen quickly, they can happen later in the race, but you know what's going to happen. And 20 points can disappear like that with the stages, you know. Win the stage, you get 10 points. You win 2 stages and you're back there. That's a great race, and you know have a good trajectory to the playoffs, but you never know when the big one strikes. It takes, you know, all the field out. Who knows? Playoff drivers are not safe. No one's safe at Daytona.
Nobody's safe, that is for sure, Carl. As we have our stages here tonight at lap 20 and at the end of lap 45 for stage number 2. So those are going to be critical points for these drivers to put themselves in position. But right now, also another critical point is qualifying here. We're seeing some times being clicked in the board so far. Jake Williams leading those top of the times, as we have about 3 minutes remaining here in this 3 laps elapsed in this qualifying session. So just under 2 minutes to go.
And this is interesting. Kevin Orlando Jr., he's a playoff driver. He needs a good finish. He's kind of back there. He's in 10th right now. But being in the front, starting 2nd, that's going to be huge for him, especially wanting those stage points and maybe making a gap, cutting into that lead a little bit of Jason Fensler.
Yeah, and like you said, cutting into the lead of Jason Fensler, like even you brought up, nobody's safe here. You make up you can make up 10 points in one stage on a person, technically. I mean, we seen it last week. Jason Fensler, he qualified on pole, didn't get any stage points, didn't get a great finish to go along with that, having to pit road late in the going. And man, it really set up for an amazing point battle. We thought going into there, we were like, oh man, this is going to be tough for everybody to make that gap up. 20 points all the way to Jason Fensler. In 1 week, 19 points are erased as Trevor Earhart goes to win the Road America. That right there just shows me anything is possible. And with the at least 2 of the 3 tracks we got, the next 2, they're going to be wild cards. And I think anybody could possibly come out of this in a very good spot. And then it all changed the next week just with one simple mistake.
And definitely, and that all starts with qualifying as we're watching the 48 run his time. But look at first, Sean Hofstetler, 50.68, and then 10th of 50.75. That is 0.07 of a second apart in that top 10. These drivers are pushing it, and they're going to be pushing each other coming to this green flag.
I'm going to tell you what, too, Sean Hofstetler, that guy is an amazing qualifier at these plate tracks. Just from what I've seen not only racing and being up in the booth, he's always putting himself up there at the top of the board. We'll see if anybody has anything left for him here in the final few seconds. James Loveland comes close there, puts himself second on the board to go ahead of Jason Finsler, his title rival. Man, this is shaping up to be a great start here. As oh, sorry, we actually have a 10-minute qualifier here tonight at Daytona. This is a little bit longer racetrack. That was my mistake there, as we normally have 5 minutes, but we're gonna have 10 minutes here tonight to get it all done in qualifying.
Yeah, and we watch these cars run their laps and run their times, and they're all really, really close together. Yeah, looking at 20th at 50.88. That's 0.2 of a second separating almost the entire field. There is zero room for error at this track, and all of these drivers really want to start as far front as they can and maybe increase their chances at stage points and ultimately the race win.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. We talk about Daytona and Talladega as places where you can make passes and you can really make stuff happen. Especially with this Xfinity car, very racy package here we have with this car. You can make a lot of moves. But my big thing is track position still does matter at these places. When you get 2 and 3 wide lanes, it kind of gets clogged up on the racetrack here, especially at Daytona, not as wide as Talladega, and you kind of get stuck in a spot. You either get stuck kind of in the middle or the bottom or up on the top line. So it becomes one of those deals where you're kind of just riding at that point. So track position is still a major factor, even though we can make passes and make our own destiny, as you would say here at Daytona.
And, you always want to be further front because odds are the further front you start, the less chance you're getting caught in the big one. We all know it's going to happen later on. But when that comes, who knows what's going to happen. I think strategy is going to play a huge part of this as well. Fuel, they may have enough for the first couple stages, but they're definitely going to have to pit in the third stage. Tires may come into play. There may be some mixed strategy with 2 tires and maybe a splash and go. It's possible we could see some jumping the stage ends to maybe fill up and shake it up on the restart. So this is going to be really fun to see the drivers kind of play that chess match with each other as the race goes on.
That's a great way to put it, Carl. It's definitely a chess match out here tonight at Daytona as we're watching on board here with Robert Rader in the 53. He comes in here tonight 11th in the standings, just not the playoffs he has wanted in this number 53 machine right now, as he's going to be looking at about a 54-point gap up to Jason Fiedler. So not looking very good for him points-wise, but he still can close out this season and possibly go get himself some more wins. Because remember, he's got 2 in his back pocket there as he slides himself up to 7th on the board. So a good spot for him there, as we'll see if anybody else looking to take time out here.
And that's huge for Rob right there, and he knows he needs those points. And I think he's going to be one of those drivers that may be a little more aggressive towards the beginning of this race because he needs those points. He needs to finish great in these stages. I think he missed last week, actually. I think that's what kind of hurt him in the point standing. So he definitely wants to get back on it and get some huge stage points to help him point his way into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely is going to need that help there, getting every bit of points he can. And, it may not be a possible chance for him to get the championship with him being that far back. There is a mathematical chance there still. But, the probability very low, of course. But he still could work his way farther up the board. I mean, there's 30 points within him in about 4th place, so he still could get a top 5 points to anything. Like I said, close out this season with some great momentum. But the looks of Daytona International Speedway here tonight on Freaky Fast Broadcasting is we have 3 races to go here at the Underdog Racing League. But I also want to point out next week we will be doing a definitely a very, very special race, and that is going to be the Bikes for Tykes race at Iowa. So make sure you tune in for that. It's a great race for charity and a great thing that they do here at the Underdog Racing League. We'll have more information on that coming soon. But, man, I tell you what, here at Daytona tonight, it's going to be good to get some action out here. And then we'll have a week where these guys can cool off before they go to the National Fairgrounds to think about their situation in the championship.
And that's definitely a good thing to have. Take a week off. You have a little fun race, race for a good cause. The Bikes for Tykes. Scott Kerberg kind of runs that. Get a hold of him however you can, Facebook, Twitter. Hit him up and donate to that great cause. But definitely, the racing tonight's going to be intense, and I'm really excited to see what the racers have stored for us.
As we keep looking here at the sites at Daytona, it looks like most drivers have already completed a lap. We have about 20 seconds to go here as Sean Huffstutler holding on to the provisional pole here at the Daytona International Speedway ahead of James Loveland, Jason Finsler, Jake Williams, and Christopher Heights. What a night we have in store for you, everybody. Make sure you stay tuned in here throughout all 80 laps of action here at Daytona. As there it is, the clock is up. Qualifying is over. Sean Huffstetler, he's going to end up with the pole position here at the Daytona International Speedway as we'll get ready to go through our grid here tonight at the Underdog Racing League.
This is going to be really exciting to watch. They're gridding up, and we have Sean Huffstetler in first, James Loveland in second, Jason Finsler in third. He was the championship favorite. Jake Williams Sr. in fourth. Rounding out Christopher Heights. He's kind of back there in the points, so it's going to be important. Kevin Orlando Jr. in sixth, Rob Rader in seventh, Ray Lane eighth, Trevor Hart ninth, and 10th, Dylan Walterman. Nick Alva's in 11th, maybe didn't get the qualifying he wanted. He needs some points as well. Justice Murphy's right there with him. Carl Kooks right there in 13th, 14th, Peyton Presley. 15th, Parker Johnston. 16th, Jacob Sirkovich. 17th, Cody Dursey. 18th, John Magner. And 19th, we have... I don't think we have 19. So it looks like we're there at 18 cars that qualified. So this is going to be really fun to watch.
Yes, it is going to be definitely a great field as I think the rest of their finally comes through. But it's going to be Ryan Twyman in 19th. 20th is going to be Justin Stunnard. 21st is going to be Grant Thorpe. 22nd, Scott Kerberg. 23rd, Matt Jobe. And 24th is Eddie Wildermuth. That is your qualifying results here tonight from Daytona with the Underdog Racing League. Man, Carl, here we get the roll off the grid here. I'm sure the nerves are high just knowing what is at stake here tonight. 3 races to go. Points are so close. This could mean a shot at a championship here for you tonight. We'll see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, nerves are high, but I think it's going to be a cool head that prevails tonight. You know, it gets really dicey out on the draft, and you got to hold that line. Despite the aero package, these cars do get kind of loose, especially with worn tires. So keeping that car into you is going to be very important, especially those cars in front.
That it will be. It'll be fun to watch all night long here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Thank you all for tuning in here. If you haven't already, hit that like button and let us know that you're enjoying tonight's show. If you're not, you can also hit the thumbs down. We take criticism very well here, and that lets us know we need to improve. But also we have the share button. Share that out to all your friends and family to let them know Freaky Fast Broadcasting has the best action in all of sim racing here. And also hit the subscribe and bell notification button to be notified when we go live each and every week. But man, oh man, we're getting down to turn 3 and 4. Sean Huffstetler going to have control of the field. It's going to be the opening green flag here tonight at the Daytona International Speedway. 80 laps, first stage at lap 20. It's 3 to go in the playoffs. Everything matters as we enter turn number 4. We're going to see the little short shoot down to Barney with the green flag. He's already ready. Are you ready at home? I hope you are. We're here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It's the Underdog Racing League. The pace car takes the hard left-hand turn down to pit road, and the green flag is going to wave here as we're off for 80 laps here tonight at Daytona. Sean Huffstetler going to lead us to the green.
And we're already seeing the inside lane look like it bunched up. I don't think Sean got the restart he wanted, so it kind of bunched those guys up. But as we go down to turn 1, side by side, James Lovin on the outside, leading that outside lane. Everyone's kind of behaving there, going through 2, exiting 2. Everyone's kind of calm, but they're right on top of each other. Sean Huffstetler still doesn't have the outside lane. There comes Jason Loveland coming, charging back on the outside lane, down the back stretch.
Big run for the outside lane there from James Loveland into 56. Sean Huffstetler still fighting strong on the bottom with the push of Jason Finsler. Looks like those two on the bottom want to be able to pull a nose ahead. We'll see if the outside line can fight back here off of 4.
Coming out of 4, Jason Finsler being kind of aggressive in the corner, getting right up on Sean's bumper, wanted to push him to the corner, but here comes James Loveland on the outside through the tri-oval as they take the first lap, complete pass there, and the 29 bumping the 56 a little bit going into 1. Oh man, they're already kind of pushing and shoving already. This is interesting, and they're already trying to jockey for position.
Yes, they are trying to find spots where they can. Nobody giving an inch so far as we fight down the back straightaway. Loveland going to be a nose ahead of that 94 of Hustle. Over here comes the push from the 5 of Jason Finsler, our defending series champion. Had a huge points gap, lost it all at Road America. He's trying everything as he's in the back bumper of the 94, almost in the corners. Got to be careful here early in the go and not to cause the big one.
It is definitely early to be pushing that hard. I can understand he wants to be up front, but is it really worth it? We will see. But definitely doesn't want to be behind anyone in case it does happen. But you don't want to cause it. So I think there's a very fine balance with that bump draft.
That there is, Carl. Very fine balance for sure. And one thing I want to notify you about there, if you're looking for our playoff drivers, those are the drivers with the pink spoilers and pink banners on their cars. So be looking for that, and that will let you know, hey, that's a playoff guy. And you can see many of them up there, many pink spoilers and pink cars right there going down the back straightaways. We continue to be side by side. And this is one thing I've noticed with this package is we really stay just directly 2 lanes side by side. At some point there will be a 3rd lane. Somebody will make that happen. But right now, 2 lanes is going to be a constant theme I think we see here for a while with this Xfinity car.
And that just provides for great racing. And the drivers, it gets gets really intense in the car, and as it drives, you're always side by side. You don't get a chance to rest. You're making sure you maintain your line and stay out of the guy next to you, and it just wears on you and wears on you. So it not only is this a really physical track that can be, but it's also mental, making sure you have the run and make sure you don't take out the guy in front of you as well.
It's all about awareness, that's for sure, Carl. You know, you got to stay aware of everything going on around you on this racing surface because stuff happens so fast. It's in a blink of an eye. You could be seeing your chance at a championship or your playoff hopes go up in smoke here as they continue to fight here off of 4. Looks like that inside line has been able to prevail most of the time, but Loveland up top with the help of Jake Williams. They've been doing a good job to keep pace with that inside line and not let them get more than 2 car lengths out front.
Definitely. Once the inside line, you think it creeps out, maybe gets a nose in front of James Loveland, that outside line starts charging back too. So the ebb and flow of the race we're already seeing is the shorter way around the track is the inside, and you consume less fuel. But the faster track will possibly be the outside, can carry more momentum and maybe make the pass on the either the front stretch or the back stretch, as the 5 of Jason Fensler really shoves Sean Hustler down into 3. Ooh, maybe touches the double paint there. So really being aggressive this early in the race is Jason Fensler.
Yeah, he's definitely showed a lot of aggression trying to get to the lead. Here he goes darting to the outside as we speak, and he's going to try to take the lead here on lap number 5. He crosses the line as your new leader. It's going to be Jason Fensler, our defending series champion, as he comes down the front straightaway. He's going to have the lead down into turn 1 with the help of James Loveland. But can he get down lower as Christopher Heights pushes the 94 forward? Is now Sean Huffsteller charging back forward as he was our pole setter. He's trying to get a win tonight.
And what a run by Jason. He had a little bit of length in front of James Loveland, really shoved Sean up there. And then once he knew he had the space, he kind of probably crossed his fingers a little bit, but took that outside line. The lead of that outside line is really trying to maintain, but now he's running into the same problems as James Loveland was earlier. Is once he gets up there, the inside line just prevails just enough, and he can't quite clear the inside in the 94, Sean Huffstetter.
It's definitely been a side-by-side fashion race here with everybody all in line here as we race on lap number 7 of 80. We're getting to that lap 20 stage, so here very soon we'll be halfway to that stage, and then I expect it even to be a little bit more aggressive. We do have one fast repair in the back pocket, but I will tell you one thing they do have is an incident count of penalties for every 12 X's they get a penalty. So you go out there and get 12 incidents, which can happen very quickly here at Daytona if you get caught up in a few wrecks. You're going to be having penalties, so you got to be careful. I know they want to be aggressive and get stage points here, but you could set yourself up for a very bad finish also.
And definitely you want to keep that in mind. You don't want to be overly aggressive. And it is unfortunate, but you can be in the back and just be in a wrong spot at the wrong time, even acquire those. So you definitely want to stay as clean as possible, keep those incident points, and really try not to use that fast repair, because that means you stayed clean and you were able to finish the race and probably in the mix at the end.
That is very true here as they continue to just stay dead even up front. I mean, this this shows you these lines are very equal. As the bottom lane's going to gain the traction here on through the corner here is just the shorter way around, just the less distance. As you see off the corners, it's going to be outside that carries the momentum that really creeps its way back up. As ooh, Christopher Heights, he thought about for a moment there jumping to the outside. As you see that happen many times when that second car gets clear of the outside line, that car has the decision: does he want to jump up there and be the lead of that car of that line? As that's what Jason Fenster did. But Christopher Heights thought about it, wasn't clear, had to back out.
And that really goes to prove how decisive and on the money you need to be with your movements. Is if you have the spot like he's going to take right there, he cleared Jason Fensler coming out of 2, jumps outside. But you got to, if you have that moment, you have to take it and hope that the other guy may give you a break as they all bunch back together. Going into 3, these guys are getting a little racing now. So obviously not content to just be completely patient and wait for the stage. And they really are trying to shove each other forward.
Everybody looking for every little inch or space to go forward. Robert Rader there, he is the black and pink car who's worked himself up into the second car in that bottom lane in the 53. He came in here last tonight in the playoff standings. Hasn't had his fair shake as he, like you said, missed the race last week. And really that put him at a huge disadvantage here as they fight for second there off of turn number 2 there. Man, Heights, he's getting pushed by Fensler very strong here. That's going to be, how hard does the push come to shove? Because if we see too big a push or off center, we could have a major wreck with how bunched up this field is right now.
And how important is it that you know the guy who you're pushing and who is pushing you? You got to have faith that guy knows how to feather that throttle and how to just barely nudge your way up there instead of really slamming it. So you got to not only have faith in your own ability, but the ability of the drivers around you too. So all these drivers have a lot on their plate as Christopher Heights looks to take the lead on the outside with a good push from Jason Fensley, but Sean Huffstiller fighting back on the inside with Robert Rader. He started back there, needs points. This is going to be huge for him if he can get even top 3 in points in the stage. Would be great for that guy.
Everybody looking for points as they wow, they wiggle down the back straightaway. That got a little dicey there on the outside line, but the pushes are really turning into shoves now as Heights takes the lead here on that last lap. But Huffsteller going to fight back here on the bottom, but you're going to see a little bit of inside draft as the 21 pulls down. Now the 5 going to get the big push off the corner exit. It should bring the 21 back up to the 94s. Here we come across the start-finish line, almost in a dead even heat. It's going to be Heights up front. As you can see, that outside line usually prevails right before the start-finish line.
But there it goes, the inside line shoving inside there, getting a little more space into the corner. Looks like he clears Christopher Heights, but of course the inside line seems to be the one you want to be in right now. But the inside line seems to get a little more of a run. We've seen a lot of people go to the outside of Sean Huffstutler, such as Christopher Heights, Jason Fensler, but they kind of stalled out and cycled back. So definitely clean air is key, and you want to hold on to that if you have it.
One other thing we'll have to watch for all night is just the side drafts in the corners and guys getting more aggressive with how hard are they going to pinch that inside line. Because if you're the outside line, you got to get really on that door to make it hard for these guys to stay on that bottom and really turn that wheel to keep it down there so they can't build the momentum up. But man, we've just had some good racing so far. So we're 12 laps in, started on lap number 13. It's 8 to go here in stage number 1. Sean Huffsteller, he has done nothing but run that bottom and stay out front here in this 94s. He's had some good, strong fights from the outside, but one constant thing is he's been out front.
Another thing I'm noticing is these cars, corner exit, we just saw it there coming out of 2, is these cars are getting a little unsteady. They're getting a little uncomfortable to drive. The tires are wearing. It looks kind of cloudy, so maybe a little cool out there at Daytona Beach, but they're definitely not as comfortable in the rear end of those cars as we watch them come out of 4, weaving around a little bit, but definitely something to keep an eye on come the stage or maybe strategy later on in the race. Do you take 4 or do you take 2 tires?
That is always the big question here at this track. It's the decision of how much fuel do you have to take, because if you got to take a certain amount, you might as well take 4. It's always a gamble here at Daytona when you're trying to make up minuscule amounts of time. But man, I tell you what, time has not been made up. These 2 lines on the bottom and the inside, they've been neck and neck for the whole 13 laps we've seen. They're going to be coming by this time to complete lap number 14. There's going to be 6 to go in the stage when they cross the line. Huffsteller still fighting strong on the bottom with the help of Robert Raider, but Heights has Jason Finsler, our defending series champion, up top, who can win stage number 1 here tonight.
Oh, and as we see Robert Raider go to the outside, lead that outside lane again. Here we go, trying to make a pass for the lead for this stage. Lap 15 of 20 of this stage. Here we go. It's crunch time. These drivers are all kind of pushing each other around for these stage points. As Christopher Heights, gets a little close down there. They're really pinching each other off, coming out of 2, and really unsettled. These guys are really racing hard for these stage points, Zach.
That they are, Carl. Look at this here. Raider going to pull a nose ahead of the 94 down into turn number 3, but it's all going to stack up here as we go down into the corner. Can the outside line fight back? You got to be thinking, if you're on the outside line and you're pushing, you're just getting shoved back farther and farther as guys are cycling through on the bottom. Right now, though, here at Daytona, 15 laps in the books, 5 to go here for stage number 1.
And it's interesting to see you have the 56 of James Loveland, 4th car on the outside lane. He started pole outside lane. He started P2, so he was up there, and he's just been getting cycled back by Fensler. Oh, as the 21 gets into the 53 of Robert Raider, causes a chain effect coming out of 2. Down the back straightaway, they are wrecking a lot of playoff drivers, causing that caution. The yellow is out. Wow, and just like that, playoff drivers having issues, and in a blink of an eye, the playoff situation changes.
That it does, Carl, and many of them involve Raider, Heights, Finsler, Lane, multiple playoff guys involved. Even Trevor Earhart taking a little hit to the door, but he looks like he makes it through that wreck. Also, Justice Murphy. We're going to have to go back here on the freaky fast replay and see exactly what transpired. But like you said, a little bump to the rear from the 21 of Heights to the 53 of Raider, who was a little bit up the racetrack, and that just right there caused a whole chain reaction. And the guys, a few rows back were the ones who really felt the brunt of that.
And again, that's why, qualifying position is so important. As we watch Ray Lane go around getting whacked pretty good and down the back stretches, it started up front, but the guys who stayed up front didn't get caught up in that. Sean is clean and still in the lead. So just unfortunate for a lot of these playoff drivers. There's James Loveland as he kind of limps off the back stretch, 44 of Ray Lane. So this is going to be a heartbreak for some of these playoff contenders.
And this has also put us in an interesting scenario here. I believe this should be the stage ender. That caution should have brought it into the stage here, which is going to make stage 2 a little bit longer technically than what we were going to be thinking before. That could possibly push into an interesting scenario with fuel, because 65% fuel load, I don't know if they'll be able to do more than 20 laps, really. I mean, 20 laps is about as much as I think they're going to be able to get out of a tank here tonight. But man, we'll have to see. Maybe 24, maybe 25, hopefully. But with these extra laps here, extra laps added onto the stage, technically, with that being the stage ender, that is going to shake a lot of things up.
And it's going to be interesting too, as are you going to be able to short pit it? How does stage 3 pan out, considering we've had our first caution? It was for incident, so of course no one's immune to incidents, so we never know what can happen come the second stage. It's going to be super interesting. They were running sub 48-second laps in the pack, so in the pack you could probably save, run in the draft, and maybe let off the throttle a little bit, but those guys up front, Sean Huffstetter especially, was not saving. So this is going to be interesting, making it to the end of stage 2 on fuel.
No, you're exactly right. Those guys behind will be able to definitely save a lot. You can save a good bit at Daytona in the back of the pack. Being out front, though, like Sean Huffter, Trevor Earhart now, who won the race off pit road, it's going to be a tough scenario for those guys, and they're going to see what they can do, though, fuel mileage-wise. But I believe that was the end of the stage of Sean Huffter. We haven't got any official word, but we will be expecting that, since I believe it won't be going green till about lap 20.
So all these cars are going to be cruising on caution, maybe clutching it, turning off the ignition. That's a way to save fuel, but they are, instead of calling out the caution at lap 20, it looks like we may go green lap 20, 21. So going 24 laps, 65%. Maybe if you saved enough in the draft, I think you can do it, but I do believe the leader's going to have to pit.
Yeah, I see that happening too. That's my big thing is you see there a few guys. Nick Alves, he's going to lead them down the 84. I believe that's Cody Dorsey. They're both coming down the pit road there, and I think that is the top off. You know that no reason not to right here, in my opinion. So great. I think a good call by them is we should be taking the green this next time by. So it technically will be the start of lap 20, but I still think that's the end of the stage for these guys, as they usually rule it by if it's within 5 laps. So we'll go with that and say it is the end of the stage, but if we get a random caution after 1 lap, we'll know why.
Definitely. And interesting, Robert Rader and Kevin Orlando Jr., both playoff drivers, chose to pit doing the top off. So already strategy playing into it. I think this is coming to a fuel run, and these drivers trying to be on top of it who could be still very close in the end.
As we pace down the back straightaway here, we're 1 to green. I think a lot of the field still yet to double file up as we're going down the back straightaway right now. It's Earhart out front, Sean Huffstutler in the second position, Parker Johnston in third, Carl Kooks to the 20 in fourth, and Nick Alves in fifth. As that's your top 5. It looks like also Jason Finsler, who was involved in that last wreck, did not take a fast repair. Looks like he elected just to get that car worked on a little bit, maybe save it that fast repair till the end of this next stage. I think that's a good call personally for him, as he's back in 22nd. Justice Murphy, also another playoff driver, he's back in 24th. Christopher Heiss 23rd. So some playoff guys in some weird positions as we get ready to go back green flag racing. Half the field not even lined back up yet, but this is going to separate a little bit of things. Pace cars in, green flag is out, and we're off and away as Trevor Earhart's going to lead the field, building more points for him in the number 25 machine. He came in here 1 point out of the lead here in the playoffs. It could be his championship to win if it plays out his way.
I think he's riding a lot of momentum because he did really well at Road America last week, and he really wanted that lead out of the resource, so he just really shot out of there like a cannon. Sean Huffstutler's starting to shove him down the backstretch, but here's the 20 of Carl Kooks on the outside. That outside line hasn't quite gotten formed up. That inside line, a little more organized, but not so bumper to bumper. So a lot of these cars up here really trying and really struggling to get in line and get that draft working for them.
Big shove from the 94 to the 25 of Trevor Earhart to get him way out front. Outside line hasn't formed yet, but here comes Dylan Walterman, our winner for the season opener here at Daytona. He's coming into fruition. That freaky fast machine is, big push to the back of the 29, and Jake Williams, he holds on to it from that 99 of Dylan Walterman, and Earhart leads that lap.
And then we have the 20 of Carl Kooks still outside. The outside line getting a little more organized. The 29 of Jake Williams getting him in the shove. And then Dylan Waltman, another playoff driver. He's been kind of in the back all that stage, and there he is on the third car outside line. He's looking to get some stage points into this stage, so that'll help his playoff hopes. But he's kind of far back there. He knows any points he can get will be very valuable.
I tell you what, that wreck there really shook everything up. We got some new players up front. Look at that. This is 20 of Carl Kooks. He started in 13th. He's up to third. Parker Johnston, the third car on the inside lane to 48. He's 15th to fifth. We're seeing a lot of drivers from the back of the field start to be up front now, as the field is all got wish-washed here after an early wreck here coming into stage number 1.
And it's definitely a different feel at the front of this pack. A lot of, I can't say unknown, but we haven't called their names a lot tonight so far. So these guys are now just getting their first taste of clean air and understanding what it's like to get a little shove and shove a little bit. So we have a whole new list of drivers up here looking to make a name for themselves and get some stage points. Maybe put them in position to win the race, but definitely trying and learning as they go along, as the 20 gets side by side with the 25 coming out of 4 going into the trioval. We are side by side crossing the start finish line starting lap 23.
And what's wild about this too, Carl, right now, if the stage was the end of the stage, we gotta go to lap 45, so a long way away. We only have 3 guys from the playoffs even in the top 10 right now for those points. That's Trevor Earhart out front, Dylan Walterman back in the 5th position, and Nick Alves back in 8th. So right now, those will be the only drivers bringing home points for well, not the only drivers bringing home points. Everybody's bringing home the points there from the stage, but the only playoff drivers bringing home stage points there in stage 2 possible.
And that just goes to prove, the playoff drivers have issues. And these drivers that aren't in the playoffs, yeah, they're not racing for a championship, but everyone wants to win, and it's always fun to be up front. And if at the very least, learn a little bit what it's like to be up front if you're not used to being up there. So a lot of these guys getting a ton of benefits from being up there, but the racing, I think we're the greatest beneficiaries. But the racing tonight's been phenomenal. And they're still side by side going into one. This is interesting. Is the 94 versus the 25 looks like they're clear of the 20. I don't know if Sean's going to make that move like we've seen all night long, but it looks like he'll stay in line and just be content with pushing Trevor down the backstretch.
Big push, definitely. I think Huffsteller trying to help that 25 out. If I'm not mistaken, I believe those two are teammates. I'm not 100% positive on that, but I'm pretty sure they aren't there, as they're giving a lot of help to each other at the moment, as that inside lane looking strong as that outside starts to deteriorate a little bit. Some drivers back there that are playoff contenders trying to break their way up into the top 10. First of those would be the 5 of Jason Pinzer. He's back in the 12th position, along with Robert Rader there in 13th, Kevin Olodo Jr. in 14th. So 3 playoff drivers trying to break their way up into that top mess.
And every point matters. We saw the inside line kind of get away, and the outside line was flagging a little bit, but here they come charging back down the backstretch, going into the 3. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they hung back, but man, they just had a huge run down that backstretch, which when they looked like they were struggling. So every driver trying to get every point they can and every inch out of their car that they can. So these drivers not taking any laps off, pushing as hard as they can.
Big run, like you said there, Carl. That outside lane got a huge run. The inside lane actually had a major checkup there. Not sure exactly what car that was, but had a major checkup in the inside lane, and it really stacked everything up that caused that huge run there. Right now, Earhart still holding on to the lead out front, but Kooks getting a good push from the 29 of Jake Williams to the 88 or the 99 of Dylan Waltman on this outside lane.
In the inside lane, Sean and Trevor still charging hard, but definitely getting a little squirrely. We have another, 15 laps, 20 laps until the stage ends, but these guys aren't looking as patient as they're used to be, and I think there's a lot of people uncomfortable with the drivers around them. You never know what could happen, but you got to be a little more patient, a little easy on the bumper going into some of these corners.
Yeah, it's still a little too early to be too aggressive, in my opinion. You can easily put yourself in a way worse position if you just ride it out here. No reason to give anything too crazy here, because that's just going to possibly cause issues and push you farther back. Right now, you got great track position. Just ride here and try to be here for when we're coming down to the white flag, and then give those big pushes.
Oh, as we're watching, as we're on board with Dylan Waltman, and these guys are shoving really hard towards the front. Saw the 29 get a little sideways there. Decent save, so this is fun to watch, but a lot of these guys, they get close together, they start running fast, and then they kind of break apart, lose a little momentum, and they get together. It's like a accordion effect, and it's going to get shorter and shorter as we go through the race, and this could cause an issue later on.
Yeah, and I think also another factor here, you're seeing Huffsteller, he's really pushing the back of Earhart. And, and like I said, I think those two really working together, and Huffsteller's really trying to help Earhart out in this position with the points. I think they're trying to go for most points or most laps led for Earhart too, because that's going to give him another extra point with the 1 point he got for lead there. So that is going to be 2 bonus points added to his back pocket if he can get the most laps led. And he also got a great stage finish there, I believe in 2nd. So that would be 9 points to go along with that. So really doing a great job and only entering 1 point behind Jason Finzer. We know we got better stage points. We know Finzer hasn't led a lap yet, or actually he did lead 1 lap earlier, so they're even on that. But you gotta gain any point on your competition, and I tell you what, that 1 point from most laps led here tonight could end up being a chance at a championship. You never know; it can always end up 1 point beside this whole thing.
Every point matters, Zach, and these drivers know it. As we're watching them go into 1, coming out of 2, bumper to bumper, Sean to Trevor. But the 48 Parker Johnston, he started down in 15th, so he's one of those beneficiaries of that incident earlier. Nick Alves, playoff driver, another one. He started back there as well in 11th. And I think he had a little bit of damage from that incident, but he's making a hard charge. Looks like he's trying to take that third position on the inside, so he's looking for another point stay as well.
Like you said there, great job. Johnson was able to jump up in front of that outside line there and get himself up there right now on the outside line. Try back a little bit, but we've seen this before. They've been able to surge back forward here as we complete lap 29. We have 16 to go here before the end of stage number 2. We think pit stops most likely will possibly have to happen. Will someone say with a fuel right now? They look like they're about to wreck off of turn number 2, and they do. Gigantic wreck on the back straightaway.
Another huge incident coming out of 2. Wow, I don't know where that happened. That was in the kind of the front. It looks like Parker Johnston, he may have gotten hit a little bit from the inside. We'll have to take a look at that. But again, another big wreck. And look at all those pink spoilers. Another bunch of playoff drivers having an incident early on in this race.
Oh, and you can see here on the Freaky Fast replay, a little contact between the 24 and the 11. Check up the 48 and the 20, get into it. And from here, Orlando Jr., Walterman, just multiple playoff guys involved. Look at Jason Finzer barely making by on the 5, but look at the 15 up in our top of our screen. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever seen a car take off to the moon, this is what we call lift off here. Is man, he gets sent into a different dimension. We may have to go back on the replay maybe if we can and see if we can see the 15 a little better. That's John Magner is that driver, so we can see if we can get that, because that was wild there. I mean, so many playoff guys involved, but yeah, you don't usually see a car fly like this here. So we'll see it all transpiring again here before our eyes as we ride on board with John. Just really nowhere for him to go. He thinks he's probably made it here. He's slowed up enough, but the 20 comes back across the racetrack. Nothing really Kooks could do there. Here's the 3, but here in a second. Whoa! Yeah, and he's out of here, ladies and gentlemen. That is he's took him off. He's had to tow, bring him back to pit road because he's flown out of the stadium.
You know, I know Daytona's known for entertainment, but this is amazing. I've never seen a car get launched like that in that quiet a fashion. This is quite fun to watch as we watch these cars all come down to as we go to pit road. All these cars looks like a lot of these cars are going to have to take faster car. Looks like 99 and Dylan Walterman missing a front bumper there as we see 56 James Loveland, another playoff driver. Robert Rader, another incident he was involved in. I think this is the second one he was involved in. Ray Lane with more damage. So some of these cars coming back down have damage from before. So those fast repairs that were safe from earlier may not be safe this time.
Yeah, I think some people definitely having to use it there. Like you said, some fast repairs no longer a choice. As you know, my producer was saying 10 out of 10 up here. I gotta allude to that too. John Magner gets a 10 out of 10 there. I don't even know if that was a 1080, a 900. I mean, I think that was something way different. So that was impressive move there. Is major wreck here in the middle of stage number 2 here. But man, Earhart able to stay out front. He's probably liking this. He's getting some more laps left with no worries about anybody fighting up near him. As right now, Nick Alves has also worked his way up to 3rd in the playoff position. So great for him. As looks like some Jason Finzer moved up to 9th. So that's another playoff driver that's moved in. So you guys getting through the wreck, but a lot of drivers involved in that wreck.
And that's going to be so huge. We know these stage points so important. Trevor Earhart in first, Sean Huffsteller in 2nd. Once again, having a good starting spot and being up front saves these drivers from huge incidents. But the 24 of Nick Alves, I think he's having some damage. So he's trying to limp it along. He needs those points. A lot of damaged cars I'm seeing up at the front. So this is definitely going to factor into how some of these playoff drivers drive the rest of this race.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not sure, the 3, it don't look like the 3 has a front end, but he may be looking to restart. Yeah, he's ready to go. So I guess Jacob Sekovich is feeling well enough to use no front end here to go, but I think that may cause a tiny issue down to 1. But hopefully everybody's able to navigate by that 3, because he's definitely going to be very down on speed.
I guess the new definition of checkers or wreckers. We have a late model on Daytona. We see that very often. But all these drivers wanted to race, and I hope he doesn't cause an issue for some of these other drivers. We know Aero, a huge part of Daytona, so I hope he kind of keeps his nose clean, as it were, and stays somewhat out of the way and doesn't impact any more of these playoff drivers' hopes.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to see something like that play out here. As we're our second caution of the night. It's been a wild race here at the track. Sean Huffsteller is going to get, I believe, the EOL there. So maybe Sean Huffsteller getting the EOL for maybe causing the wreck is the only, or maybe blinking or network. I have no clue. Unsure what is caused that, but our pole setter now dropped through to the rear of the field. This is going to shove Peyton Presley up on the top line here as we got the pace car lights off. We're about to go green flag racing here at the Underdog Racing League. Here is the pace car going to take the left-hand turn. Barney's going to have the flag ready. Green flag, get ready to go here as green flag is in the air. Barney's going to wave it along as we go across the line. Earhart, your leader. He's going to lead us down to 1.
Earhart leading us down to 1. That outside line is not formed up. We're seeing the 5 of Jason Fensler. He looks like he's recovered from that first incident. He has found himself in the top 10 so far in this stage 2. We have about 10 laps left until stage 2 ends at lap 45. Looks like there's not a lot of drafting right now. That outside line, as we go, as I talk, Nick Alves takes that lead on that outside line, but definitely a kind of scattered start there for the field.
Alves jumps down to the bottom, and a very scattered start for sure. Is really interesting to see. Is it's really spaced the whole field out. Somehow Jason Fensler goes from the 10th position up to 4th here in a matter of moments, and now Earhart going to go to the outside, but has no friends in the 25 machine. He's side drafted to 24 for the lead. He's not going to have no help as the rest of the field tries to catch up.
Look at all those pink spoilers back there. We have a ton of playoff drivers trying to claw their way back in the top 10. Robert Rader, Kevin Orlando Jr. right there on the outside in the pink and black cars as we're riding along with Trevor Earhart. Looks like in that back or the outside line, falling back a little bit. You see Jason Fensler there up in third where he wants to be. Looks like he's a little damaged too, so maybe he hasn't used that fast car quite yet. So a lot of these playoff drivers, the inside line has their organization figured out, and they are moving forward. No one helping Trevor Earhart out right now.
Yeah, Trevor Earhart just dropping like a rock. It looked so good for him possibly to lead the most laps in this race when he had his teammate Sean Huffsteller up there. He gets the EOL. It drops him out of the line. He's now going to have a little bit of help here from Parker Johnston in the 48. We'll see if they can pull all the way back forward, but close race between him and Justice Murphy here is, like you said, Fensler yet to use the fast repair there as he's still got the damage from earlier. Car doesn't look too slow though as he gets the push here now down the back straightaway. We're seeing Justice Gunner, those two teammates work together in the 33.
Oh, and you can see maybe some of that damage from Jason Fensler come into play. He poked his head outside and took that line, and now he's really struggling to keep the pace. The 33 of Justin Sterner, though, able to shove him up the ranks there, coming out of 4, going through the tri-oval. Jason Fensler on the outside front row, right up to Nick Alves, another playoff driver. So both of these drivers looking for points no matter how hard and how fast they need to push it. So these guys are really fighting tooth, claw, and nail to get these points.
And right there, they all drop down and get away, but here comes Waltman around the outside, and the 99 machine involved in that last wreck had to use the fast repair, I believe, as he's going to drop here ahead of the 89 of Matt Job, and that's going to be the 10th position now, past Wildermuth to the outside. Here's going to be Justice Murphy in the 9. Can they work together and build some momentum up top? As right now, the top 3, Nick Alves, Ryan Twynham, and Trevor Earhart.
It looks like these drivers are kind of wanting to calm down a little bit before the stage. A lot of damage to some of these cars as the 48 of Parker Johnson tries to take the outside of 33, Justin Stunner, get in front of Justice Murphy. Maybe 3 cars are always better than 2, but Justice Murphy looks to dive in the outside, take Parker's spot, and 48 Parker Johnson gets collected by the Dylan Waltman 99 machine.
We've seen this run be very much unorganized. You know, the runs before, we've seen a very stout outside and inside lane. Right now, that front group, it's been mostly dominated by the bottom, and it's just been 2 cars fighting its way along the outside line. As here's Johnston and the 99 of Walterman as they work down the back or the front straightaway here, headed to complete lap number 38 as we near the stage number 2 ending here, lap 45.
Yeah, we have about 5 laps, 6 laps to the end of the stage, and yeah, there's definitely some cars damaged, some cars hanging back. Ooh, as the 33 gets a little loose, maybe gets into the 48 a little bit, but I think a lot of these drivers, 2 incidents kind of early on in the first part of this run of this race as the 33 jumps to the outside, but I think some of these drivers are just trying to figure it out, figure out who's driving around them, maybe get their feet back under them. A lot of them look nervous. There are a lot of twitchy cars out there, so I think some of these drivers are a little wary of getting side by side at this point. But as I say, that outside line led by Justin Starter starts to form up a little bit coming up for it.
You're seeing everybody get a little bit more and more aggressive here as the runs get bigger, the pushes get longer, and the wrecks loom closer here as we complete lap 39 here. It's going to be down to the end of 45. Here comes the big run. Stunner to the outside. He's got the 99 of Walterman. The 48 Johnston, he also hops out there. He's got the help of Job. If they two can get up there, is now the outside line surging forward down the back straightaway. They pull dead even with Ryan Twineman now for the lead. Justin Stunner dead even.
And they're bringing Parker Johnson into the number 48, Matt Job, another playoff driver. He's been kind of mired in behind the back of this pack the majority of this night. He forms up right next to Justice Murphy, who's another playoff driver. And just like that, we are side by side with a huge run. Huge push from the 99 of Dylan Walterman for Justin Steiner to be able to get him up there right next to Nick Alves, and another playoff driver hoping and wanting and needing those stage playoff points.
Walterman, our winner on the season opener here at Daytona in the Xfinity Series. He is giving everything to the back bumper of the 33 while Trevor Earhart tries to side draft him there. It's everybody trying to get all the positions they can, and if this continues for this many laps, I don't know if we're going to make it. There's door banging down the back straightaway.
Oh, and another aggressive shove by Walterman going into 3. Man, he is really wanting to get up front. He knows he needs those points. I don't think being conservative is in his hand right now. He really wants to get up front. It doesn't matter if he has to show someone to do it. He definitely wants that clean air and these stage points.
All about the stage points here as the points are coming down to the end of the season here. 3 races to go, including tonight. Next race is going to be at the Nashville Fairgrounds, then the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What a finisher for us there. But tonight, it's all about lap 45 for the end of stage number 2. Playoff drivers all around right now being led by Nick Alves in that first position. You see Trevor Earhart on the bottom of the 25, the 99 of Dylan Walterman, and Jason Finsler in the 5 machine, all trying to get playoff points.
You know, that 31 of Ryan Twineman was really catching my eye. We haven't talked about him a lot, but he has kind of been pushing and been that draft partner for Nick Alves almost this entire back part of this stage. So he's done really well keeping that 24 up in front as we're still side by side. Dylan Walterman cannot seem to get the run that he wants and gives Justin started the shove that he needs to get in front, but definitely starting to get a little dicey here towards the end of the stage as these drivers are still fighting wheel to wheel and side by side.
Side by side, Justin Stunner with the big side draft. They pull way wide, trying to break that side draft on this outside line as they do pull now a nose ahead. The 33 is Stunner out front. Who's coming to help now? Another car jumps outside. That is the 94 Sean Huffsteller. There's going to be 5 good cars up top against 6 cars on the bottom here as we're going to be coming to complete lap 43. It's going to be 2 to go here at stage number 2 at Daytona.
Those drivers, the 33 and the 31, getting really close together coming out of 4. That is really aggressive side drafting as the 33 does it again. Nick Alves trying to avoid some of that side draft, but definitely affecting his entry into one. But it looks like he's going to have a little bit of a lead as he takes the inside line. No, as they're still really aggressive side drafting side by side as the Dylan Waltman 99 gives a huge shove to Justin Stunner down the backstretch, going into three. The 48 closing up on him. Matt Joe behind him in the 89 machine.
I do not know how they're going to make this lap. The pushes are getting way more violent as we come out of 4. We're going to see the white flag here for stage number 2. It's going to be one more lap to see what the points are divvied out. Here comes Nick Alves. He leads this time with Justin Stunner trying to win it as they're wrecking behind. Heights is going into the infield grass as they continue on. That's not going to bring out no caution. We stay green here. Up front, it's Alves and Stunner battling for the lead.
And look at that, Trevor Earhart, he kind of fell back. He's looking there, third car on the inside line. Jason Fensler and then Justice Murphy behind them. 3 playoff cars back to back to back as looks like Trevor Earhart tries to do an aggressive side draft. Dylan Walterman shoving the 33 hard, getting them a little loose, but they keep it straight. Looks like that that second row is not going to keep formed up as the 48 takes the inside line. Looks like Nick Alves leading them single file. Justin Stunner gets in line, coming to the green and white checkered stage end of 2. Justice Murphy to the outside of Jason Fensler just to see what he can get and doesn't make the pass. Caution comes out, stage 2. Nick Alves, Ryan Twynham, Trevor Earhart, Justice Murphy, and Jason Fensler, your top 5.
What into the stage there. Congrats to Nick Alves on getting this 10 bonus points here tonight for winning stage number 2. We're going to head to a quick commercial break while they get service done on the race cars and get them back ready to rock for the final portion of tonight's race. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be right back.
To be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Maconi Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Maconi Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Maconi Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MaconiSetupShop.com and learn why Maconi Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
All right, we are back here, everybody, at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Remember, Freaky Fast Broadcasting is presented to you by ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Make sure you head on over to ButtKicker.com, where you can use the promo code FreakyFast20 to get 20% off of any purchase there at ButtKicker.com. Remember, ButtKicker, feel what you've been missing. Always a proud sponsor here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But back, here we are after the stage ender, Carl. We got the cars all ready to lined up. Get one to green here. Man, this is going to be the critical end. This is where you get the big points, the big chunk. But, man, a lot of guys have already built up some buffers here if they do have some problems.
Definitely, the buffers always help, but as we saw Jason Fensler last week, those buffers can quickly disappear. So obviously want to stay clean and clear. Trevor Earhart looks like he's going to stay up front here after the pit stops a little bit. Nick Alves up there as well, but it looks like Parker Johnson and Dylan Walterman going to lead us to green. Dylan Walterman needs those points. He's definitely down there in the point standing, so starting in front of the outside line can definitely help his chances of coming out the winner of this race.
That is going to be the main question. Who's going to come out here tonight, the winner now? We're in our final stage of the race. This is where the big bucks are paid. This is where the big points are laid out. This is where you get the checkered flag. Tonight, though, 3 races to go in the Underdog Racing League. It's going to be wild all the way down to the very end, but our pace car is going to take the hard left-hand turn down the pit road. We're going to have Parker Johnston out front here with Dylan Walterman in second. The green flag is in the air. We're back racing here at Daytona. Johnston out front with the help of Earhart on the bottom.
And that outside line already getting formed up, 3 deep. We have 2 playoff drivers leading the charge there, Dylan Walterman and Nick Alves, so they are definitely feeling hungry for the win. Trevor Earhart's second car inside row. He's looking for another win to help him through these playoffs. They are side by side, 4 deep. Looks like a lot of that field didn't get as the start they wanted, but I think some of them also tried to pit towards the end of that caution, try to top off on fuel.
Yeah, I think a few guys are trying to do a little sneaky there, get a little extra fuel in there, but I don't think they'll be able to make it to the end unless we get a good portion of cautions. Maybe that's what they're hoping for there. But, man, right now, hard racing up front. Walterman out front. And Walterman came in here tonight 8th in the points, 27 back from the lead. He's going to need to make big things happen here in the final 3 races if he wants a chance. Nick Alves, though, 18 points back. He takes the lead here down into 1. He's trying to make a statement here in the final 3 races.
And once again, the 31 of Ryan Twynham being a pusher car for a lead car. He was pushing, I think it was Trevor earlier in the race, so him pushing Alves to the lead, but now getting a push himself by Trevor Earhart. So look at all these playoff drivers really giving the bumper to him, going down the backstretch, going into 4. Here we go, side by side, dead even with Nick Alves leading the charge.
And man, it's getting wild here as Alves still hold on to that lead. Earhart, though, like you said, all alone in the back deck lid of the 31 of Ryan Twine, trying to push him out front here for the lead. But it looks like they're barely going to have a nose ahead here down in the 1. Right now, though, a lot of playoff drivers involved in this action. You got 4 of them right there in the picture. And, man, a few other ones riding in the back. But James Lovell looks like in the 56, he's starting to claw his way back forward now as he is in the 11th position.
And he's definitely trying to get back up there after an incident earlier. But here we have Sean Huffstetler. It looks like he's in the top 10 after having an EOL penalty earlier on. Jason Fensler right behind Trevor Earhart. He has an issue earlier on. Still looks like he's carrying some damage, but still has decent speed, at least in the pack. So all these drivers still in it, and really not giving an inch. A lot of heavy pushing, a lot of really aggressive driving. I think the patience is over as we cross the line here for 54 to go. I'm sorry, lap 54 as we go into turn 1. Oh, they get really close side by side. Trevor Earhart and Dylan Walterman as they go coming out of 2.
Wow, it's getting wild here as it's all coming down to the final 3 races here. Daytona, it's such a pressure cooker of a race as Twynham trying everything in his power to get farther up there in the 31 with the help of Earhart. You've had Johnston there in the 48 coming into the picture, and now with a caution, looks like Sean Huffstetler, our pole setter, involved in this major collision between him and another car. I believe that may actually been Kevin Orlando Jr. So our playoff contender took it out in our wreck here, and this will be our instant replay to see exactly what happened. And we're going to have to ride here with Orlando Jr. because I think what happened actually is some network issues for Huffstetler. He reappears on the racetrack in a bad spot, and man, it just creates a major collision here, and Orlando nowhere to go. And I think Orlando Jr.'s already used the fast repair. This could be a major devastating hit for his playoff chances.
That is unfortunate. Wrong spot, wrong time. So that's just, another one of those issues where you got kind of got caught mired back in the pack and just trying to make his way up front and just couldn't make it work. But for the rest of these drivers, makes it interesting. Zach, do you think they'll pit for gas, or do you think some of them will try and maybe clutch it going around this course, save a little fuel, maybe get it to the end of this race?
That's a tough situation there. If you get enough cautions, you definitely can make it, in my opinion. And we could possibly get a few cautions. My question is, though, can you do a few more times in overtime? Is going to be the huge thing I think a lot of these people ask. So if I'm one of these drivers, I'm coming here and getting fuel, topping it off. I ain't worried about tires. Tires are no issue. Don't really want to slide them in the box too much, but tires, a non-issue. Go ahead, fill the race car back up, because from here, we should feel pretty comfortable about making it.
And it looks like they're listening to Zach. Looks like all of them are pitting, trying to top off on fuel. I'm not seeing any tires getting changed. Looks like it's all top offs on fuel. So definitely playing the fuel game. Wanted to make sure they can get to the end of this race and maybe have a couple of green white checkers in them if necessary.
Yeah, definitely some interesting scenarios here. Is Alves going to win the race off of pit road? I noticed one driver who did take tires that was near the front, who's been up front near most of the night, is Trevor Earhart in the 25, one of our top playoff contenders. Jason Fensler also got to check and see did he actually fix that race car. No, he elected still not to use that fast, but I think that's a good call from Jason Fensler. He's got speed still in the 5 machine. Maybe not race winning where he can get out and lead a line, but he can stay in the draft, get a good top 5 here, make solid points with that damage on the car. He's just saving that. If he does get a major incident, he has a mulligan to say, to pop back in there and maybe still salvage a good finish with another car.
Definitely smart move on Jason's part. If you can make it, then make it work. And, you never know when the race is over until it's over. So a lot of racing between now and then. He's definitely trying to keep that ace in his pocket and hope he pulls the good card when he needs to.
We'll have to see how it all plays out here at Daytona. But right now, focused on the 99 of Dylan Walterman. He is coming in here tonight in a tough spot in the points, needing a big 3 weeks to help him soar up that leaderboard. But I tell you what, he was our winner from Daytona. We've seen him do it before here early in the season. What a show it would be for him to win another race here at Daytona and sweep this historic racetrack. That would be some type of feat. It looks like he's going to restart here. Fourth on this restart as we re-rack him and get him double filed back up.
Look at this in first place, the 53 of Robert Rader. Definitely interesting. We mentioned he's really on the outside looking in. It is mathematically possible, but a win would definitely guarantee his way into this playoffs. So he's going to be definitely using some of the strategy. I don't think he hits. I don't have any information on that, but he may not have hit with everyone else. So he's definitely trying to win it on fuel. We'll see if he can make it, but definitely interesting strategies. All these drivers throughout. Dylan Walterman at the second row outside line. 31, Ryan Twynham up there. So definitely a mixed bag once again. It's be interesting, this restart.
And I can't confirm to you guys, Robert Rader did not pit, so he elected to stay out there. So that's how he got this track position. Ryan Twynham took a very quick splash of fuel and went out. So this is going to be wild. And you know, if you're Raider, he's probably thinking there's going to be more cautions from here. That's his big bank on his situation there. But we'll see how it works out. 25 to go. I still worry about fuel at that distance too, Carl. So, well, I think you're going to need a caution or two to make it very, very healthily. But, you never know. Somebody could save to make it a 25, and it could come down to a fuel mileage race if we go green. But you never know at the Daytona International Speedway. 2.5 miles of historic high banks here. Pace car is in. We're ready to go back. Green flag racing, and there it is. Green flag's back out. And here, Robert Rader leads us to the line. He's going to lead us down to 1.
Robert Rader got a good restart, but so did Nick Alves. They both timed that really well. We will see the 33 just started diving to the inside. Already that line starting to form as the 31 and the 99 start kind of already fading. That back, outside line not formed up very well at all. So here we are, 53 Robert Rader as the 24. Nick Alves, wants to make it. Oh, and they make it 3 wide. 31 and Ryan Twynham going to the outside. 99 deciding to stay inside. 84 machine staying outside, keeping 3 wide, 2 rows back. Still 3 wide. This is intense racing, as it looks like 31 is going to let up a little bit and dive down behind Dylan Waltman. But we have 3 playoff drivers in the top 4 racing for the lead.
Yes, we do. Alves looks like he's going to lead it to the line. What a run in the 24, man. That is a great job by him. Ryan Twynham was the one who got left out to drive for 6 there as everybody dropped it back down, but he was able to get himself back in 3rd in line on the outside lane. But wow, Walterman to the back bumper of the 24 has created a little bit of a stack up there. A wild moment there through 1 and 2.
And Robert Rader trying to do the side drop down the backstretch, but to the outside lane. The 99, Dylan Walterman giving another shove, going into 3. These guys are not giving an inch. The 31, Ryan Twynham did get kind of hung out to dry, but was able to dive down right behind Dylan. As he starts shoving the 24, Nick Alves through the exit of 4, the 48 of Parker Johnston, giving a nice little push to the 53 of Robert Rader going through the tri-oval. The 24 looks like to maybe have a nose. No, not quite. 53, Robert Rader still maintains the momentum going into 1, but it looks like Dylan Walton is going to finally shove Nick Alves and give him that run into the inside line.
What a run for Alves with the shove from the 99 of Walterman. Here comes the run from him, though, down the backstretch, a big side draft. He's got the help of the 31 of Ryan Twynham, the 84 of Cody Dorsey, the 77 of Grant Thorpe. As they now travel down the back straightaway, they take the lead. They don't clear, though. It's going to be a fight down into 3.
Going into 3 side by side, coming out of 4. Ryan Twynham really shoving Dylan Walterman. We know he's been pushing back and forth, mostly Trevor Earhart through the night, so we know he can push a guy to the front. But as I talk, Dylan Walterman takes the inside line, takes the lead from Nick Alves, leaving Ryan Twynham in the outside, followed by Cody Dorsey in the 84. Robert Rader, 53.
31 looking very strong. Ryan Twynham working that outer groove. He's able to push the 99 by. Now Walterman out front, our winner from earlier in the season at Daytona. It's 21 to go. It's any man's race here as we got 18 cars on the lead lap. Anybody of those 18 could come up here and steal this thing. As they're side by side down the back straight, side drafts galore. It's getting more and more aggressive the farther we work through this race, Carl. This could only lead up to something that I think we may see. Is big moment for the 31 and the 84 as they track it up the racetrack with a bump.
It definitely looks like Cody Dorsey got into that outside line. I don't know how much damage he has, but definitely lost some speed there. I was just about to remark, he came from way back there. He started 17th, and another car we haven't talked much very much tonight, but that really breaks up that outside line. But Parker Johnson jumps in front of the 31 of Twynham, maybe trying to get some of that momentum, but that inside line still prevailing down the back straightaway going into 3.
Outside line looks like it's deteriorating right now with 3 cars up high, 1 car farther back is Trevor Earhart, but Parker Johnston in the 48 and the 31 of Ryan Twynham, they charge their way around the outside. 84 Dorsey a couple car lengths back. The outside line, if they can gain numbers, it will grow. We're seeing though Johnston surge forward.
And these guys are getting really, really close together with the side draft. I know that's how you can really slow down the car next to you, but they are not giving a lot of room. Looks like Parker Johnson, with the help of Ryan Twynham and Cody Dorsey, the 84 is going to pull up next to the 99 of Dylan Waltman. We are side by side coming out of turn 2. Oh, as we get a little fishy there, it gets a little slick. A lot of cars looking to choose to check up there, but it looks like 48 is going to break clear of the 99 and take the lead going into 3.
What a move there, and like you said, got a little bit scary there for a few moments as everybody was dicing back and forth. They got to watch out going left and right on the straightaways. That's where we're going to see an incident most likely, if anything. But right now, Johnston out front in the 48, taking the lead as Finzer off racetrack. He's going to get back onto the racing surface. But man, 18 to go. Right now, the playoff drivers who need the big nights are up front.
And that outside line, once again, kind of falling back. It looks like we had the 31 going to dive behind the 24 and Nick Alvis. Cody Dorsey, 84, is going to lead that outside line, but there's no momentum up there. The first 4 cars are all side by side, and we can watch, looks like Robert Rader may clear the 84 as well, so there's no momentum in that outside line now. As the 99 of Dylan Waltman chooses to go to the outside, coming out of 4, tries to get to the quarter panel, the 48 on that side draft. And here comes that outside line again. Crossing the start-finish line is Cody Dorsey. Chooses to makes it 3 wide again. Here we go at Daytona, going into 1, 17 to go to the end of the race. The drivers are giving their all, going 3 wide to do it.
3 wide into 1. Look at this. Dorsey up high in the 84. He's dropping farther back as he decided to put it up there. Nobody goes with them. Walterman, though, with the help of Stunner, holds on to the lead. Johnston, though, with the help of Alves, trying to fight back. You also got Earhart coming into the picture in the 25, working his way back up with 17 to go. What a race up front.
Looks like Dylan Walterman decided to cut down in front of the 48, take that lead away, but the 48 not done, wanting that lead back, taking the outside line in front of Stunnard. Nick Alves behind the 99. These guys are pushing and shoving their way. The 33 going to the outside of the 48, making it 3 wide again through the dry oval, taking it 3 wide at the start finish, going into 1. This is make or break time, as it looks like they're getting really dicey up there. 33 maybe up in the wall as he decides to maybe dive down right behind the 25 Trevor Earhart.
Wow, what a moment there, ladies and gentlemen. Get the spicy emotes out there. It's getting spicy here at Daytona. One driver who's had enough is Robert Rader. He pulls that line. He says, you guys are going to wreck. As there it goes to the front. Parker Johnston back out into the lead, but now Earhart going to have a clear gap to the top side. For his help is Justin Stunnard and Cody Dorsey. What a race we've had here tonight. 16 to go. Playoffs on the line. Who's going to get it done? Who's going to get the points to push themselves towards a championship?
And as the 99 pushes the 48, we have Trevor Earhart. He's been out front a large part of this night. He knows how to race up there. Looks like a little bit of damage, but doesn't look like it's affecting that much. Justin Stunner in the 33's been pushing a lot as well. So this is really interesting. These guys are starting to get side by side again. They're pushing the side draft to the very limit, as looks like the 48 just had to get out of the throttle a little bit, but 99's going to catch him up. As the 99 spins, catch the corner of the 48. Another huge wreck in front of the field. Another caution with 15 to go in this race towards the front of this field. I cannot believe it.
A major incident. The only 2 drivers really surviving that involved in the players, or 3 playoff drivers surviving that wreck there, is Trevor Earhart, Dylan Walterman, and the 9 of Justice Murphy. But it all happened on the back straightaway. The 33 of Justin Stunner, the 48 of Parker Johnston, the 99 of Walterman. It all started off that bumper, that 99, and man, oh man, it really went big for a lot of people there. Jason Finsler, a driver who looks like he got a lot of damage on that 5 machine. It nose knocked off. Johnston, Cody Dorsey, Stunner, all of them involved in that, as that's going to bring out the caution there. As we'll go back on the Freaky Fast Instant Replay here, you can see them all in the infield here after this collision has happened. As we'll go right back to where it all transpired, and there you can see down on the bottom lane, the 48 gets that little boop from the 99 of Walterman, and that right there going to be the big one here at Daytona. Alves in the 24, nowhere to go. Justice Murphy barely making it through. What a job by Justice Murphy in the 9 to get through that incident there with minimal damage, and whew, it all just happening here at Daytona in the final few moments.
And that started developing exiting 2. There was a lab car on pit exit. I think that made the 48 of Parker Johnson a little nervous. I think he had to get out of that throttle, and that just bunched everything up. And then everything came to a head coming down the backstretch with what we just saw, all the chaos ensue.
And it looks like right now people all hitting pit road. Dylan Walterman going to stay out here. Same with Jacob Sekovich in the 3 machine. James Loveland also going to stay out, but Trevor Earhart leading them down. He was going to come out and top off, and I like that call for Trevor Earhart. He's not going to lose too much track position. He's got a pretty clean car. He just comes here, tops the car off, makes sure he's good for any overtime scenarios, and he is good to go to the next race. He knows he does not have to pit once again. Earhart, though, these last 2 weeks performing so well right now, in position possibly to take the points lead.
And, you know, it's so interesting. He looks like he may come out in 6th, so he line up outside 3rd row. But, you know, a couple of these incidents have started with the front 4 cars. So no one is safe, and really the only way to ensure your way through is to be in front of it. And in order to be in front of it, you got to lead the race. Really unfortunate some of these drivers, but it looks like Trevor Earhart may get the lucky side of it. We know he has the speed, so good on fuel. I think we're good to see some more bumper and side-by-side racing as we get wrapping up this caution.
What a race we've had up to this point. Thank you all for tuning in as always here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And if you haven't yet, make sure you check out our merch store. You can buy yourself some Freaky Fast merch. That's down in our description. There is a link. Also, you can also follow our live timing and scoring. It's also a great tool for you to look at lap times and see when your favorite drivers are on the track, what laps they're running, when they last pitted. It's got so much information. Make sure you head on over to the description and check that out. And if you haven't yet, also, you know, if you like something, you think it's cool, clip it. We like to see some more clips out there from the folks out there watching. That'd be something really cool to see the community get involved in. But thank you always for tuning in here, Freaky Fast Broadcasting. It's been a pleasure to broadcast here tonight as we re-rack them back up and get ready to go back green flag racing here. This is going to be so exciting, Carl.
Oh, definitely, Zach. And there's the 53 of Robert Rader once again finding his way towards the front. James Loveland, he was caught up in an earlier incident, and then, of course, the 99 of Dylan Walterman. Questionable move into the quarter panel of the 48, but looks like he's going to stay up front and try and lead this field forward. Looks like the 89 of Matt Joe is going to be right next to him, so this is definitely going to be interesting. He's another playoff driver that's kind of far back there, but another win from him, this could really shake up the playoff standings.
This is really going to be wild. Looks like a few guys getting sent to the rear of the field here. There's a lot of flags and stuff for the admins to be working with. I feel for it right now. They're going through it, but looks like we should be good to go. No lights have come back on to the base car. We're still double file. So it looks like we're still going to be going green here. No holdups. When we go green, it's going to be 11 to go here at Daytona. 11 laps could feel like an eternity around this 2.5 mile historic high banks. It's going to be one for the books for sure. It could be what defines the rest of the season with 2 races left in this Xfinity season. It's been a pleasure up to this point, but this one could be monumental. Make sure you don't tune away. We got 11 laps to go here at Daytona. Pace car takes the hard left-hand turn down the pit road. Green flag is out, and we're off and away is Dylan Waltman. Great start for him. He's going to have a gigantic gap back to Loveland and Job and Earhart. The big runs are going to be coming as we ride on board the 25.
And they are already shaking it up. Robert Rader went from inside to outside. The 11 machine went from outside to inside. So they are crossing over left and right. But that outside line looks like it's a little more organized. They're going to get a run here. And look at that. And P3 on the outside line, we have Ray Lane. He was kind of early on in the run. So this is interesting. As the outside lane gets a huge run going on the backstretch. Trevor Earhart pushing Matt Job. Oh, as he tries to make the inside line. Did not have enough room, decided to think better of it. But Matt Job taking the inside line away from Dylan Walterman and taking the lead of this race.
What a move from Matt Job, yet to win this season. Looking for his first win here at the Underdog Racing League right now. Going to come to the line. It's going to be side by side between him and Trevor Earhart. But Job going to lead the way with 10 to go at Daytona. What a historic race so far. Right now, Earhart on the outside with the big run, with the big help of Ray Lane. He's going to the lead.
And then on the inside, fighting back, 99 pushing the 89 and Matt Job coming out at 2. They are bumper to bumper. All top 6 cars are playoff drivers. 56 of James Loveland has found his way back to the front as well. So the inside line trying to make something work, but still not clear. The 25 of Earhart as they go into 3. We were getting a little loose there, but it looks like he is clear. 25 and 99 side by side coming out of 4, but outside line again with the momentum coming down the front stretch.
What a monumental race this is. Coming to 9 to go side by side, all up front. Some other major things that happened. Jason Finsler 16th is in the 16th position as Earhart takes the lead. He's going to drop down to the bottom to control that lead, but Jason Finsler, one of our top title contenders, in 16th, 21 seconds back. He's not going to be a contender if this thing stays green. He's going to have to be hoping for some type of yellow as we fight down the back straightaway.
Oh, and that outside line, ooh, not very organized. The 25 darting out there trying to collect the 44 as Matt Job drives it up the inside line with the help of the 99. Going into 3, these guys are getting dicey with the inside line, pushing their way forward. 56 of Loveland behind the 99, coming out of 4, going down the front stretch. But 25 is not letting the 99 get away. Another aggressive side draft. The outside line coming back to him, but only 3 cars deep it looks like. So we'll see what that outside line can do these next couple of laps.
And we also know that the 25 should still have a fast repair in his back pocket, most likely. So he is sitting in a good spot if we do wreck here. He's going to be aggressive here, trying to get every point he can build up to build the gap for trying to take the points lead. But they're all checking up on the back straightaway here. Here comes the run from the outside, the 44 to the back bumper to the 25. It's going to clear Earhart. He's not going to have enough time to pull down. Job fights back to the inside. We're going to be side by side through 3 and 4. The outside line trying everything they can, but with only 3 cars, and even Robert Rader, I believe, who's blinking out a little bit there. That is a great issue for this draft.
Definitely, they're not organized back there. They can get a little bit of momentum from a corner exit, but they don't have enough cars to complete that push. But it looks like they're starting to try going into 1. The 89 is still just able to edge itself just forward of Trevor with the help of the 99. But that inside line still has a little more power than that outside line right now, I think.
That it does. They're fighting strong, though. 7 to go. Big push from the 44 of Ray Lane to the back bumper. Earhart, he may be clear this time. Does he pull low? He does, to just down inside. They make contact there with the 44 into the side of the door to the 89. Big wreck here. No caution yet as it's off the racing surface. I think we're going to stay green here as we continue on through down to the tribal. 6 to go here.
What an aggressive move. A lot of those drivers had to check up. Looks like Ray Lane got the short end of the stick. Get into the outside wall coming out of 4, but it's that lane. Oh, James Loveland coming on the outside of the 99, but there's little to no help out there. They can really run up the field, but he's making a hard charge. He's neck and neck with the 99 of Dylan Walterman as he starts creeping up a little bit, getting even with Matt Job. So that 56, he's hard charging to the front, Zach.
This is so impressive all by himself. A little bit of side draft, able to pull himself forward, but he hasn't got the help now as the help's coming from behind to the 25. He's able to hold station, but he needs some help. Who's going to come here is Nick Alves in the 24, another playoff driver. He's starting to come into the pictures. We got 5 playoff drivers in our top 6 here with 5 to go. Who's going to win here in Daytona, or do we see another yellow?
And look at that 56. He's side drafting really aggressive. He doesn't want to lose that position, so he's side drafting as aggressive as he can. But we've seen that cause issues like just recently. So I don't know how wise that is to do, but I guess desperate times call for desperate measures coming down the backstretch.
Everybody fighting for every point possible. Every position is down the back straightaway. We're going to be coming to 4 to go this time. Earhart out front. He won at Road America last week. Can he go back-to-back and get his first 2 wins in the final 5 races of the season? It would be a story to see as he's going to come across the line here. 4 to go, Carl. It's going to be anybody's game. Right now, Loveland still somehow hanging on outside all by himself.
But there's more cars on that inside line. Looks like we have 5, 6 cars in a row there, ending up with number 11. I mean, he's hanging really tough in the 99, but if push came to shove, I don't think he had anything for any of those guys up front unless he was able to maybe take advantage of a gap in the inside line or something. But it's side drafting really aggressively going down the backstretch, going into 3 even.
He pulls up right back up to that second car. That's so impressive. He's even pulled Job back here off the back of the 25. Loveland doing all this work by himself. This is something you don't see much. Here comes Waltman. He says, man, if you're doing that all by yourself, what if you get a little bit of help? Here comes the block from the 25 of Earhart. He knows that line's coming with the help of the 99. Now, all 3 lined up here as they go down to the front straightaway. Earhart going to drop back down low as Waltman drops back with the 89. They're playing chess right now.
The 56 of Loveland hung out to dry. Looks like they were trying to get side by side there for a second, but that inside line once again prevails. The 89 can't quite make a decision if he wants to make that outside line work, but it looks like the 25 of Trevor Earhart will catch 56. But Dylan Waltman at the 9 and giving a huge shove to Matt Joe going into 3. So here we are, side by side, 2 cars. Ooh. Matchup. Oh, we have Trevor Earhart getting the 99, another incident, and they are spinning coming out of 4. 3 more playoff drivers with incidents. Caution, 3 to go. I think this will end up as a green-white checkered restart, Zach. This is, I think the gloves are off now.
This just changed everything. Earhart makes the decision to go up high. It opens up the door for Job and Walshman to come through. And then it looks like the 25 makes a little contact to the 99. And from there, major incident here as we'll go back on the freaky fast instant replay and see what happened there. As you can see him hard in the wall. And there they're going to touch the Walterman 99, the 26, and the 56 of Loveland all go around. The 24 Alves involved. Multiple drivers damaged here as this caution going to come out. This is going to be interesting too, because who's going to come down and get their cars fixed? Who's going to stay out with the hurt car and just hope it holds on to where they're at? I mean, someone like Jason Finsler, who's got a little bit of damage on his car, could he come and get his fast repair? Or does he stay out and try to get track position? There's so many different possibilities here at Daytona.
You know, we're going to come out with a green-white checkered. I don't see why not. Get everything fixed up. There's what? Looks like 10, 11, 12 cars on the lead lap. So even if you do finish in the back, there's not that many cars you have to pass. So I think overall, if you want to have speed and want to have maybe some of that guarantee, I think you have to pit right now as the 25 comes in. But the 89, the 99, and the 24 looks like he was involved in that. Did not pit either. So also make sure these fast repairs are left.
That is the big question for sure here, Carl. As you're going to see some drivers decide to come down, get their cars fixed. Some decide that nope, they want the track position. A few who took advantage, such as Jason Finsler. You know, oh man, if you're Trevor Earhart, if that race stays green, you finish at least in the top 5. You got to think you come out here with the points with the way Finsler was running back in 16th, not really getting too many stage points either. Not you beat him in the stage category. Man, it could have been a big point swing, but this caution here changes everything. Now going to be a race to the checkered flag.
And what a race it will be, Zach. A lot of these drivers are done with the give and take part of this. They just want to take right now, and clean air is king, and you definitely want to be in that inside line, it looks like. So how these drivers are going to drive each other and push each other through here, I don't know if we're going to make it to the checkered flag without another caution coming out.
That's very, very possible. Also, this is going to be green white checkered attempt number one of one. So there's only one attempt. But if that caution comes out before the white flag waves, that is the end of the race. The white flag waves, they're going to wreck. If they wreck, it's going to be who gets back to the line first. So it's going to be very wild if we get that white flag, nonetheless to say. But I tell you what, like you said, that caution could wave very quickly. And guys who just came down pit road, who put themselves now way back in the field, like Earhart back to ninth, that has got to feel unsettling for them.
And we saw it earlier. They were going 3 wide. I think we're going to see it again. So, ladies and gentlemen, grab your seats tight. We are in for some side-by-side racing and definitely some hurt feelings and burnt rubber later on tonight.
It is going to be fun to watch. We're re-racking them up, double file them here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, our one attempt here at overtime here tonight at the Daytona International Speedway. Again, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to call the action. As remember, next week is a very special race coming up at Iowa in the current gen NASCAR Cup Series Cup car, and that will be the Bikes for Tykes race at Iowa. So make sure you tune in next week for a very important race for charity, and we will be happy to bring that coverage to you. But man, this tonight is all about Daytona and how it closes out. 3 to go here. When we take the line, it's going to be 2 to go. It's going to be the green, the white, and then the checkered. Who you think is going to bring this one home, man?
Oh, you know what? Anyone right there in the shot right there can win it. So I'm not going to place any of my bets right now. I'll tell you when the checkered flag waves who I think is going to win it, but I think right now it's just too uncertain, and there's a lot of pink spoilers up there still, so anything can and will happen here at Daytona.
It's going to be fun to watch. Waltman up top, Job down low, Alves in third. Your playoff contenders there in the 1, 2, 3 spots. Next playoff contender is going to be Jason Finsler back in 7th for Trevor Hart ninth, and Justice Murphy 10. As it's going to be a wild finish here tonight at Daytona. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to call, but tonight's going to be our one attempt at overtime. Pace car takes this left-hand turn down the pit road. The 89 of Job takes off and leads us to green. Walterman going to be side by side. There's a gap back to third. Does he drop in? We'll see. It is looking spicy here as we head down the 1.
Going into 1, we have the 31 of Ryan Twynham pushing that 11 forward in that second row. The 99 of Dylan Walterman giving the bumper to the 89. Coming out of 2, looks like the 11 is going to get abreast with the 99, creeping up on the 89, going side by side, 2 deep as the 25 of Earhart looks like to make it 3 wide, going in 3 next to Jason Fensler, trying to make moves going through the field here.
Everybody trying to make moves late to go, and oh no, the 31, a little bit of network issues, but we come out of 4. We're going to see the Freaky Fast white flag here tonight at Daytona. If you would like to see your name and logo up there on our Freaky Fast white flag, make sure you hit us up on our social media so we can make something work out as we head down the 1. Joe side by side, Peyton Presley with the help of the 99 of Waltman. Here comes Twynham. Here comes the 9 of Murphy in Earhart. They're slicing and dicing through the field here.
And those guys have had issues, so they have fought their way back through the field on the inside line. All 4 of those cars on the inside line are playoff drivers. As Trevor Earhart dives to the outside, maybe, nope, maybe rethinks it. Oh no, this is Murphy maybe thinking about making it 3 wide, going into 3 for the last time. Here we are side by side, coming out of 3, going into 4. 89 of Job in the lead, getting a shove by Dylan Waltman to the 99. We are 3 wide coming to it, almost 4 wide. We have some contact to the caution, or to the stripe. 89 though wins it. Oh man, that was a really intense finish there. Zach didn't know. Wrecking towards the end of that lap there. Whew.
What a finish it was. Matt Joe bringing home the win. Dylan Walterman in second. Justice Murphy in third. Brian Twynham fourth. Peyton Presley fifth. Trevor Earhart sixth. Eddie Wildermuth seventh. Justin Stunner eighth. Ninth's going to go to Jason Fensler, and 10th's going to be Scott Kerberg. Is what a finish it was here tonight at Daytona. Man, oh man, what a win it was for Matt Job. First of the season in this 89. Definitely much deserved. as he is a playoff driver entering here tonight, and that's going to be some great points for him in that 89 machine. Entered 24 out of the lead. Here, he's going to bring home the win to help push himself forward in those points.
You know, wins are hard to come by, and they're that much sweeter when they come. First one of the season, and definitely able to help you going into a playoff run. So, great night for Matt Job. Congratulations, and great night for racing here at Daytona. There was not a easy breathing moments. They were battling side by side, bumper to bumper tonight. The heat was on, and the drivers were definitely pushing it.
The heat was definitely on for sure. As Job celebrating here on the front stretch, he's just going to pull it on down here near the road course. We'll see if he lights up the Rich Islers. He's going to do the good old Polish victory lap around the racetrack here at the Daytona International Speedway. Matt Job, your winner here tonight. What a drive it was. He able to put himself in position, lead us up to the green flag there on the green-white checker overtime, holds on to the lead, and gets that first victory of the season, man. It is so impressive to see the 89 be able to pull it off here at Daytona here as he celebrates on the front straightaway here with win number 1 of the season. We'll be right back here in the Freaky Fast booth as we get our top 3 up in the booth and have a quick chat with our race winners. All right, we are back here at Freaky Fast broadcasting with our top 3 drivers from tonight here at Daytona. First man up is our 3rd place driver, Justice Murphy. What a wild ride it was there for him on overtime, able to drive from the 10th position all the way to the top 3. Let's hear from the 9 machine. Hey, Justice, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I got a copy, buddy.
Well, I tell you what, man, what a wild ride down to the end there, man. You restarted in that 10th position here on that last final restart and drove yourself up to the top 3. How'd you end up getting there, my friend?
To be totally honest, it was just saving that quick repair as long as I could. Took damage early in the first stage wreck and just got it worked on, got it fixed as best it could. The back end didn't look good from what I was hearing from my team, but went in when we got to the green, white, checkered, said, well, you don't get to take these to next week. So I went and got it, knew I would restart somewhere in the top 10. And as I kind of worked my way through there, man, Trevor gave me a big push.
Yeah, it was definitely a big push for that 25. We've seen that for sure, man. You guys drove right up through there, got right in position. And man, another good race. Like you said, you got damaged early in the race, so wasn't really able to, be in position too many times there for stage points tonight. But I tell you what, a good finish nonetheless after Road America last week. This should still help you out points wise. How does that feel after last week getting the good finish there, now bringing it here this week?
It just sets me up to be there. That's all you can ask. I started after the first race of the playoffs at Michigan, 11th in points. So I think after this week, I'll be somewhere in the top 6, 5, 6, and it'll be tight battle. I think the entire top 10 was only split by 35 points coming into this week. So this should have tightened it up quite a bit.
It definitely will, man. I tell you what, it was a wild night here at Daytona. You're able to bring it home in third man in the nine machine. Congrats on that. Before we let you get out of here and get prepared for the next few weeks, buddy, anybody you want to send a shout out to, Justice?
Yeah, man, I want to give a shout out to you guys doing a great job with the broadcast. Shout out to the league admins, man. These races especially, man, they have to do a whole lot while they're in there, trying to go fast in the draft and do that. But shout out to my teammates giving me some good pushes, and shout out to Scott for the race next week, man. The charity race, we're all looking forward to that, and hoping we can raise some good money there.
Very, very true there, Justice, man. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll catch you next week. Iowa in the Cup car. It's going to be fun to see and for some charity, like you said. So it's going to be for a great cause. You have a great night, man, and we'll catch you at Iowa next week.
Yes, sir.
Well, sorry, I cut him off. Actually, that was my bad. But yeah, on to the next one. That is our third place driver tonight, Justice Murphy. Great run by him. And like you said, we got a big week coming up next week. We're Iowa for charity. So let's go ahead and bring up our third place man, Dylan Walterman. And then 99, our winner from Daytona earlier in the season, just comes up one spot short here in the playoffs. Hey, Dylan, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I do.
Well, man, great to have you back up in the booth in the Freaky Fast Machine, man. I tell you what, great run again here tonight at Daytona. Was able to bring home the win earlier in the season. Comes up one spot shy here tonight, but I tell you what, nonetheless, a good run for you when you needed it in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, I say, and one spot shy, I will take this, especially after the race at Road America. I didn't think I was going to be able to make up any ground at all, but after I learned points after that, I had high hopes going into this race.
Yeah, man, it definitely it played out well for you. We see you up there all night long up in the battle. How tough was it to stay up front there? We've seen it was very even between the bottom and top lines.
Yeah, the top line. What I noticed is the front cars decided to side draft, and it just killed the momentum. But yeah, like you said, it was close race and it was fun, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, we got a little bit of a week off technically next week, but we for a good cause. We're going to be doing a charity race, Iowa for the Bikes for Tykes, man, with Scott Kerberg there leading that way in the current Gen Cup car. How you feel about heading off in the Iowa in the Cup car, man?
Last year when we did it, I didn't do so well in the cup. I did better in the trucks, but I like Iowa. I'm not a fan of the cup cars no more, but it's for a good cause, so I will willing to do it.
Definitely so, man. Well, I'll tell you, it'll be fun to watch you guys out there next week, man. Congrats on another top 2 finish here for yourself, Dylan, man. Before we let you get out of here, anybody want to send a shout out to, buddy?
You guys with the broadcast, keep up the good work, and then teammates of Maddie and Nick working together all night, being able to put us in this position to do it.
Definitely great teamwork between you guys, man. So congrats on second here tonight, Dylan. Look great out there in the Freaky Fast Machine, man. We'll catch you next week at Iowa. You have a great night, man.
You too. And I forgot Eddie.
Great point there, man. But yep, you have a great night, and we'll catch you next week.
You too. Have a good one, guys.
All right, everybody. That was our second place driver of Dylan Walterman in the 99 machine on one of our playoff contenders. As our top 3 were all playoff contenders. We'll now move on to the winner of the night's race. First win of the season for Matt Job. Let's hear from the 89 on his big win here in the playoffs. Hey, Matt, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
I do, Zach. How you doing?
Well, man, doing great. I tell you what, I hope you're doing great too, because you're the winner here tonight at Daytona, my friend. Able to get that victory here late in the playoffs with 3 races to go. And you came in here in not a terrible spot in points. I mean, the way everything shook out last week, it really closed up the gap between everybody in the points, 24 back from that lead. You're able to get the win here tonight, man. First, talk about that race out there and the win, because this has got to be a special one.
Yeah, pretty crazy. On these speedway races, I'm just trying to finish. Usually I just hang out in the back and hope to be in the top 10 by the end. And that last big wreck, I got through it barely and found myself on the front row. So I, had to go for it and got to the inside. And then there at the end, yeah, I was just sticking to the yellow line. If they were going to pass me, they were going to pass me on the outside. And I wasn't trying to block or anything, because that's usually how the wrecks happen. So I was just staying to the bottom. If I win, I win. If not, good points day. But yeah, awesome to get a win.
Yeah, definitely awesome to get a win, man. And also some great teamwork between you, Walterman, and Alves. I mean, you can just kind of speak on that, how crucial that was, because you guys really worked well together in that draft pack, really through the last portion of that race.
Yeah, I owe the win there at the end to Dylan. He gave me a great push, the backstretch on the last lap, and he could have jumped out and tried to win himself, and he stayed in line. So I definitely appreciate that. But yeah, we worked together as a team pretty good every race, and especially it's important on these. So yeah, definitely shout out to Dylan for helping me there at the end.
Definitely some great teamwork between you guys there to score yourself victory here tonight, man, at Daytona. So congrats on that. We're going to have next week, we're going to have the charity race at Iowa for the Bikes for Tykes. That's going to be awesome to see in the current gen Cup Series car. Then we're going to have 2 weeks remaining Nashville Nashville Fairgrounds, way different, and the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, man. I mean, some great tracks coming up. How do you feel about entering those last 2 races, though, Nashville Fairgrounds and Las Vegas?
Yeah, the fairgrounds will be fun for sure. That's going to be real interesting. Could get pretty messy there. So yeah, just kind of another one like tonight, a survival race, and then finish in Vegas, see what happens. Points are pretty tight, so Fensler hasn't run away with it. So just see what happens.
That it is, man. It's going to be very tight after tonight's points definitely get updated. So it's going to be a while to see. Congrats on the win, though, here tonight, Matt. Before we let you hop out of here, though, man, anybody you want to send a shout to?
Yeah, I got to just say hi to my daughter, Kendall. She's watching. And again, yeah, just shout out to my teammates, especially Dylan. I wouldn't have been able to win without their help. So thanks to them.
Well, awesome win, Matt. Congrats on it, man. We'll catch you next week at Iowa. You have a great week, buddy.
All right, you too. Thanks.
All right, everybody. That was your race winner and race driver of Matt Job in the 89 machine. What a night it was for him to get his first career win here at the Underdog Racing League and in the playoffs at the right time. And 24 points back from the leader, Jason Fensler, who finishes in 8th. It could be a big shakeup again here in points again after tonight. But we'll have to see what the results were like here at Daytona, because these results here, I think, are going to be a huge shakeup for our points heading into the final 2 races. But Matt Job going to bring home that first career win. Second's going to go to Dylan Walterman. Third's going to be Justice Murphy. Fourth going to go to Ryan Twynham. 5th place going to be Trevor Earhart. 6th going to be Eddie Wildermuth. 7th, Justin Stunnard. 8th going to be Jason Fensler. 9th it's going to be Scott Kerberg. And rounding out your top 10, here's Nick Alves as we look through the rest of the field here tonight. Definitely some notable playoff drivers back there, like James Loveland back in the 13th position. Ray Lane's going to drop back all the way to 18th after a wreck there late in the going up front. Orlando Jr. going to finish in 21st. Robert Rader 20th. So multiple playoff drivers, even Christopher Heights 24th, dead last tonight. So tough position for a few playoff contenders here. But what a night, Daytona. It can help you, it can hurt you. It's one of those places where, like, a lot of the drivers who send their interviews just want to survive, and then once you survive, they're going to come out of here happy as we head into the final 2 weeks of the Xfinity Series. But man, Carl, what a night it was here at Daytona. I'm so excited to see how these next few weeks play out.
You know, Daytona never fails to disappoint. I just love coming here. I love racing here. But, you know, the fairgrounds, National Fairgrounds in a couple of weeks, the penultimate race of the season is really interesting. It's a really bumpy track, and it's kind of a short track. It's, I think, right around a mile long. So that's going to be really interesting for these drivers, and especially ones that need points and want to maybe give the bump to the guy in front of them to get that position. So really excited for a couple weeks from now, National Fairgrounds.
That is going to be fun when we get there for sure. But don't forget, next week we have the Bikes for Tykes race at Iowa with the Cup Series Cup car. It's going to be fun action to watch. Not only fun, but for a great cause. So make sure you head on out to Freaky Fast Broadcasting and you come out and watch us. We're going to be doing some great stuff here with the Underdog Racing League as we finalize all the details there. It's going to be super, super fun. So make sure you don't miss out next week here at the Underdog Racing League as we're going to go Cup racing at Iowa. Man, what a night it was. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, like I said up here before I sign it off to my producer, Robert Moyer, it's been a pleasure to call. But we're going to send it up now to the producer himself, Robert Moyer Jr., to close out tonight's broadcast.
1 second here. All right. Well, thank you, Carl. Thank you, Zach. Great calling. Thank you, Underdog Racing League, and all the drivers out there. Man, it was awesome to watch this kind of racing here at Daytona. I call it a crapshoot. Anybody can win it. And, you know, Matt comes from all the way in the back to bring it up to the front and gets the win. And, you know, last year in the trucks, he was struggling to get a top 5. And this year he's looking pretty strong. And now he gets a win yet on top of it. So, congratulations to you, Matt, on finally breaking that monkey off your back and getting a victory. And hopefully that momentum heads on to the next 2 races. And as we were talking there, Zach, you guys and these guys in the interview, we're talking about, you know, the points. Very interesting in the points. You know, we had Jason last week not to have a good race, so that really stirred up the points. Well, tonight he comes home in 9th. Now, it is a top 10, but that's 2 weeks in a row now that he has been outside the top 5. So that's very interesting. So it's going to be fun to see what happens in the next 2 weeks. Not next week, but the next 2 weeks after next week, as we wind down this season here, and maybe somebody can knock Jason off his horseshoe there and or steal it and become the champion. You know, over Jason. But, you know, we'll find out. And the best way to find out is everybody make sure you tune in every Wednesday night here with Underdog Racing League at 8:30 Eastern here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We do much appreciate it. Also, next week, like Zach was saying, we got a charity race coming up. So make sure you come out, share that stream to your friends and family, your social media platform of your choosing. Get the word out there for Bikes for Tykes. It's a really, really great you know, thing that he's doing. We've seen a lot of things posted on Facebook with this league with that, ladies and gentlemen, that go back and watch this replay. He has bought a lot of bikes now, and I don't even know what the number is, but I know there's a lot of bikes going to kids for Christmas, young kids and teenagers that are going to get a new bike this year for Christmas, and it's all because of you guys out there that watch this and support that and donate to him and things like that. So we'll get more information out by next week for this at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But with that being said, I'm going to stop rambling. Our next televised broadcast will be this Saturday night with NISCC Cup Series. So we'll see how that all goes as we go live at 8:50 Eastern Saturday night with Sam Dyer and Brandon Robinson. It's going to be calling all the action there at 8:50 here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But with that being said, I'm going to sign off here from the virtual side of Daytona. So here at Freaky Fast, everybody knows what's coming. We like to always say, God bless everybody. We love yous all. Peace out.